Hey everyone, welcome back to my workbench. So I did get a bunch of parts in on hand now, so I can start building away. My limiting factor right now is just time to get to actually build these up. Wife is still recovering from her mastectomy. So that's fun. So she's feeling better. Still a bit of pain, mostly in the armpit. So I'm gonna do here, I'm building one of the overlay units, I like to call them. Decided to rename the wearing pajamas here. Rename the one with the telephone style keypad the classic, and then the overlay version is going to be like the default because it seems like a lot of people like that option. I think it looks pretty cool anyway. They both look nice. So I just cleaned up my workbench. Oh yeah, this is all the goes into. You got to crack off these little capacitors on here, otherwise they couple uh, everything together, and I don't want them coupled together. So this is the little three clicky buttons. So I make up a little kind of more or less a kit for these things. I can hear in the background I'm cutting the top enclosure for this. So I'm doing a little multitasking here. While that's cutting, I am getting this ready. Just have one little thing to solder on here. And it's quite the process actually to go through to make these. I've been doing the more artisanal builds, the last couple builds, just because it's more interesting to me personally than mass producing them, though I might end up doing a couple of getting a bunch of harnesses put together. I started doing that, so next video I'll show my new, well, it's not molten right now. This is a solder pot. It's really nice because you can um, take the IDC, the multi-conductor cable, dip it in a little flux, solder flux, and then very quickly go ahead and tin all the wires nicely. So when you put them through that real thin connector, the little perf board, it's 1 millimeter spacing. So that's not 1 millimeter, it's 0.12 inches spacing, 120 thou, which isn't very big. And as opposed to 240. Oh no, take it back. It's 100 thou. It's 1.24 millimeters to 50 thou spacing. So how this works is this is a little overlay I print up myself, and how it works is this is the overlay. This gets stuck to this, but in addition, there's 4 screws that go through it as well, so it's really on there once it's done. And other than that, let's see, what's the best tool for this? I can still hear it cutting. Yeah, my CNC I have in the basement just because of noise reasons. The loudest thing is actually I have a vacuum on there, a shop vac, just so I can makes it much cleaner when you pull it off, and much less likely to clog. So the enclosures are actually made out of ABS, so you have to have a pretty high speed cutting. I think I cut it 18,000 RPM, if I remember correctly. And yeah, so it's a quick cut. You make a lot of fine dust. So I have the little vacuum shoe on there to make sure all the dust gets out of the way. And it has the side effect it keeps the cutting blade, the cutter, cooler. So as long as you're not going too fast, you'll get your cutter will last a while. But I did discover you really need the blue titanium nitride. I think that's the one, the blue one, not the gold colored one. I think that's titanium oxide instead, and that really doesn't last long at all. So this is the um, overlay, and it seems slightly crude, but that's a cutting board. This is my very trusty DeWalt drill. I run two little M2s through this to hold it all down. Nice thing about using the bamboo cutting board, you know when I've gotten through because you get sawdust. There you go. Holes in the back now. Cutter finished. This is a very nice tool. I have my shop vac plugged into this little outlet that just turns off and on. Crude, but effective. Alright, so that gets that done. And that's all done. The only thing I have left is on this guy. I wanted to add a couple more wires to make my life easier. Okay, so let's add the capacitors to it. So I used to put the caps directly on the potentiometers. These little guys. I just went in through these holes here, but it's heating up the carbon pad too much and wrecked a few of them. And so from then on, I was like, nope, I am going to go ahead and just do it up on the board instead. Alrighty. White. And this one needs to go in. As the 5200 controller goes, provides a 4.2 volt input into the pots, and then after that you have a 60 hertz pull down, and that's what actually gets you your impedance reading. Everyone, thank you for your patience and a extraordinary number of orders. Even with back order, I think I'm like up to 8 on the back orders, maybe 9, I can't remember. I just got an order in like 10 minutes ago, and it's been awesome. Now it's just a matter of building all of them. I got all these parts in, and I'm trying to set myself a personal goal of at least getting one a night done, so in a couple weeks I can have everything cleared out, and then I'll change the quantities to reflect the actual like stock on hand. This guy here. Alright, so I wanted to add a couple more wires there. Alright. I'm going to pause the video a second and grab the freshly cut enclosure, and I'm going to grab a little more wire. Right. Alright, so I'm back with the freshly cut top here. You can see it's actually pretty clean. I haven't even, there's the first wipe off there. usually end up having a few holes. I gotta bore just a little deeper just to clear them out. Doesn't take much. Usually just the pressure of putting the drill bit on there is all it takes. You don't actually have to drill anything. Not that one. Come on. That one's pop right through. That pops right through. Clean all these out. Alright, I usually take a little, it's called the deburring tool. It's this thing. And I like to, the ones you can actually see, I'll go through and clean this up just a little bit. The rest you don't see because they all get covered. Like even these, doesn't matter if these edges are a little funky, as you're not going to see them anyway. There we go. And that's top housing for an overlay. Alright. Like I said a minute ago, I just wanted a couple more wires. Good strippers, good strippers, good strippers. Okay. I like those strippers. Very handy. So I'll actually finish building this in a minute. You can see how it goes together. Because it's only a few conductors, I'm not going to bother turning on the solder pot for that one. Alright. Just going to tin these up real quick. So yeah, wife, she had 4 drains, 2 on each side. Now she's down to a single drain on her left side, which is where they had to take lymph nodes out. But the problem is the original cancer formed way high up, like there. So the lymph nodes are right next to it. So that's how she ended up with still stage 2 cancer, but no stage is great. That's because it hit the local lymph nodes, but the lymph nodes are like right there. So that's what the doctor explained as the surgeon explained, not the oncologist. I never knew. So you have a surgeon and an oncologist. The oncologist is medical, and then the surgeon, of course, is surgeon. So, but they work together to eradicate the breast cancer. For some reason, my mother-in-law was always very opposed to like the pink ribbons and stuff like that, and I don't know why. She's been gone for 5 years now, so but never quite got that. Key is you gotta catch it early. You can't diddle dawdle. Since I'm here, solder these down. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I wanted to do. I want to add the wires for the 3 push buttons that are over there. Probably for the next, probably spend a day or two, build up a bunch of these harnesses because they're identical regardless of single stick, dual stick, overlay. It's all the same wiring. So I need to add what colors? If you ever see me going off, looking like I'm staring off into space and just checking the colors. Violet, green, blue, green, and yellow. Yellow, green, blue. Okay. Do I have wire here? Doesn't need to be crazy long. I put up this, there's a, originally it's for paper towel, but I have all my wires hung up there now. And tapes and everything. So I need to go yellow through violet. I can strip up to about 4 conductors on that stripper before it starts getting weird. That's a little better. I actually prefer manual focus. I bought a new 50mm lens for my DSLR. It's nice and modern, but I actually like the way my older, like 70s vintage 50mm lens looks better on it. In my opinion, I like the glass more on it, so probably switch back to that lens. It's a really good lens. I think it's a Minolta. It's crazy. It's like an f1.4, so I actually very rarely go all the way to 1.4 because it just blows out your depth of field is like a tenth of a millimeter or something crazy like that. Yellow is our yellow. 4. Come on, hands. 4. We'll start with that one so it doesn't skitter away. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to get a bunch of these built up first. So the final assembly will be, this is the only part that like, takes a bit of work to do. Green, blue, and violet. Then it goes gray, which I don't use, and then it goes white. Oh, don't you like your home? Get in there. So yeah, like I said, my biggest limiting factor right now is just getting enough time to do this. I don't want to have my wife do too much work, and my son's graduating soon, about a month or so, end of May. So that's coming up. Can't believe he's going to be graduated from high school. It's like I remember driving him home back in 2006. All right, so that finishes that up, so I can actually go ahead and solder this thing. I know I have to cut these off. And just because of experience, I know. This guy. This guy. Strip this again. Had my annual ophthalmologist last week. That went okay. Stupid diabetes. I don't even eat sugar. And Everything looks okay. Just said I had some very slight cataracts forming, which is normal because when you're 50, oof, it's kind of unavoidable. Bifocals, cataracts, all that sort of thing. Kind of sucks getting old. Kind of sucks. Not that old yet, but yeah, sometimes I think I've forgotten more stuff than other people have learned. Just all the stuff over the years. So many things I've had to forget because just taking up useless brain space. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. I'm happy I was able to figure this out. Of course, it had to be the year my wife is going through cancer treatment. Why wouldn't it be? So, everyone be rest assured you will get your controllers in the order they were placed. I have parts for all the current orders plus a few extra if anything else others trickle in, but I think I'm up to, well, I was 13 orders, now I'm back up to 14 orders because I just got another order in. Price of fame. Getting new subscribers too to the YouTube channel. That's kind of nice. I'm like 275, 276, something like that. Somewhere in there. I didn't realize I had over like 300 of these What's on My Workbench. It's nuts. All right, so this is coming along nice. So next up, I need... to finish off this guy here. Pry off the back. Garbage. This tab goes. The wipers go. Same thing here. Garbage. Spacers. So everything fitting right. Yet another 3D printed piece. That is the spacer you got to put in. I don't think you need it for this, the overlay one. Oh, no, you do. Take it back. Because otherwise this bumps up against the housing. Never mind. Alright. This goes through here. Goes there, that goes there. Where's my bucket of screws? Bucket of screws? There's the lid for it. Oh, this is what happens when I clean up. I lose everything when I clean up. Hold on, I'm gonna pause. Okay, bucket of screws found. So there's a weird irony. The screws they give you with the joystick, about 50% of them are long enough. Each batch is like different length screws, so it's like, oh, heck with it. I'm just going to buy longer screws. So if you ever wonder why a lot of them have silver screws, not black screws, is because I needed consistent length screws to actually get this to work. So too short, they don't make a good grab on the joystick itself. I did already finish one classic controller, so that's good. Let's see if I can get the second one done. There it is. Okay. All right. Yes, indeed, you get all new parts. And a joystick made by a man in pajama bottoms. At least I'm wearing pants. That's a good thing. Just checking the time. It's going to do. I don't know if I'm going to finish this one tonight or not. We'll see. Oh, I just remembered I got to solder another board. I'm not getting this done tonight, but it'll get close. Spacers. Spacers. Yeah, I have everything screwed together now. There's no glues. There's just one piece of pressure sensitive adhesive and that's it. So everything holds together real nice. I don't need these long ones, go with the shorter ones. These should be long, short. Here we go. I changed a little bit of the layout on this thing. Just make it a little easier to make it consistently. So the holes got moved so they're offset. So when I go to screw it together, I don't have screw heads interfering with each other. Isn't good. Okay. This is all PLA plus. This stuff is pretty darn strong, actually. Try to get that centered up pretty nice. If you don't, they don't click very well. That works. All right. Put a keypad on. Need some more screws. Screws and nuts for that. I need longer ones and shorter ones. One of the few nuts I use in here. Two of these. Two of these. No, four of those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. So I actually run longer screws these top holes here, because they double as the hold down screws for the bracket itself, the Y bracket I'll show you that. See if I can get to that point. Come on. Come on, you can go through. Sometimes this tape does not want to agree. Well, you know you want to. There you go. Yeah, so the top ones are longer because they double as the... I used to have 2 more holes in here, and I realized, well, that's silly. Let's modify the bracket a little bit so I can use 2 of the existing screws and nuts that are there. Longer ones there, shorter ones here. There goes a short one, flying out to nowhere. These actually have an adhesive back too, so they're screwed down and they're taped down as well, so they're not going anywhere. All right, almost done with these. Take the adhesive back off. Come on, work with it here. A fairly good adhesive. Sometimes I wonder if the sellers I buy from China, I wonder, what is this crazy American doing buying all these joysticks? Bottom ones that I can put nuts on right away. Top one's not yet, because that requires the Y bracket. Come on. See, this is what the guts look like. And it's getting a little late. I think I'm gonna call it quits soon tonight. Nice. Turns out real nice looking. I think for now I'm just gonna show you all how this works. These are the there's a coupling that goes in this thing. I usually deburr that a little bit. Oh, over here. I'm talking to myself. No. Grab some of these. These are nuts and washers for the pots. So that goes on there. It goes on there. And this goes on here. So that just presses on gently. There we go. And this will go just like that. So I'm not actually going to press this on yet until I get to the calibration, because you want to get pretty close because you don't want to have to be fiddling around this. I can actually get to the point now, I've done this enough that put it on, slap it on, and usually I don't have to adjust it. So I am going to have to make up one more little board. Let's see, and solder these up. So yeah, I'll finish that off tomorrow and get this shipped off tomorrow then. So yeah, everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for all your well wishes. Thank you for all your orders. Like I said, there was a big rush after that review, so I'm slowly working my way through that pile. So I got one going out today. This one will go out. I'll get this box up tomorrow. Then I'll probably take a day or two, build up a bunch of these boards and harnesses, just to make it quicker. I don't think I'm going to do a video on that because that's going to be boring as all sin to watch that. So that's going to be it for tonight. And yeah, my hands are tired. Busy weekend. So everyone, thank you for watching and have a great evening.